This tank is the P43. This is an Italian Tier 7 medium tank. The map is Himmelsdorf. I am going to show you a sniping position that you can play in this game. So let's zoom out a little. I just happened to end up in this position while I was trying to find a place to play, and it ended up being not such a bad position. I mean, you can defend through the rails. You got this building in front of you. You got train cars. You can shoot up onto the castle area, their upper hill. They put all these walls up because they don't like people sniping from the bottom level. You know, they want a corridor map. They don't like flanking. For example, when they redid the Kharkov map, one of the reasons why they cited for redoing the map is because too many medium tanks were flanking the heavy tanks. You know, they're very anti-flanking. So you can see I got my first kill. Oh, you know what? I didn't get that kill. Someone else killed him. I haven't done any damage yet, but this is a position that clearly you can play. If you have a weak gun and you want to hit side armor, this is a place where you can go to. You're going to be hitting the side of those tanks. And if you're doing a capping mission, let's say you're doing a campaign mission and you need to cap, you want to be near the cap as much as possible. That will help you win a capping mission. Don't leave it to luck. Try to position yourself near the cap. The other thing is, if you are a very low tier tank and you don't know what to do, like sometimes when I would play, we used to have terrible tier spreads, and there would be a low tier tank, and he would say, "What do I do? I don't know what to do." And I would tell him, "Go sit near the cap, and when it's safe, try to cap." Okay, so we're beyond the sniping position. Let's move on. This tank is a T-44. This is a Russian Tier 8 medium tank, and the map is Epic Normandy in the frontline game mode. I'm going to show you a sniping position that you can play in this game. So now, this is the position when I'm defending Cap A, this is where I come. You notice that the cap is right here. There's this little opening. There's a tree you can knock down. I knocked down both of them. You can knock that tree down. There's a house you can hide behind. And the reason why I play this position is because I like to play the difficult positions. I like to do the dirty work. You know, when you need to reset cap or spot cap, if your team's not going to do it, I'm the one who's going to do it. It might mean you're going to get less damage and do less spotting, but at least I know I'm doing the right thing for my team. And over here, you can snipe all the snipers on that distant ridge. You can snipe the snipers like that WZ-111. You can hit the guys like the Batchat 12T hiding in the trees. You can spot the cap. You can snipe the cap. You can rush the cap. And you're right near the repair facility, which is right there. So this ends up being a great position. I've got 757 damage. I blocked 170 and 114 spotting damage. So the other thing is, because I play in the middle of the map, and I've been doing this for years, my gameplay improved dramatically when I started playing in the middle of the map. I started getting more kills. I don't know if I was doing more damage, but I noticed I was getting a lot more kills. And the reason why is because you can shoot in all directions. If there's a vulnerable tank somewhere, and like that guy right there, he's hiding from somebody. But he's not hiding from me. He's hiding from someone else, and it makes him vulnerable to me. The Progetto thinks he's in a safe spot, but he's not. I can hit him from where he is. So that's why playing in the middle is a great thing to do. But you have to have amazing situational awareness. One of the great things about sniping on these tanks up there on the cliff, almost always you're going to hit them on the side armor, especially if they're a non-turreted tank destroyer. You notice that the enemy isn't even capping A. I'm up to 1,185 damage, 170 blocked, and again 114 spotting. So one of the things you want to do is you want to have control of those ridges. Your allies are probably not going to do it. There is a counter position when you are attacking, which is basically, you see where that house is in this tree? You basically knock that tree down and you sit over there. And if you watch my frontline videos, you might see me playing in that position. From that position, you can defend the cap, you can hit the snipers in all directions, etc. It's a lot easier to hit the snipers on the east side. On the west side, where the Batchat 12T is, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to hit those guys. If you are taking a lot of shots, which is what's happening right now, you can see 4 tanks just shot at me. You want to get right here, just reverse a little bit more, use the house to block you from the shots in the distance, use the hills, stay low. You want this tree to be knocked down, and you'll notice that I knocked this tree down. It wasn't by mistake. I came, knocked the tree down. It was before the replay started, and then I went and knocked this tree down. This tree is more important to knock down. You can knock this tree down and sit there and spot the cap. Okay, so I decided to go for repairs. We're going to do a magic repair. Oh, it looks like I died. Oh, they must have killed me as I was arriving at the repair facility. So let's get back in the game with another tank. And I want you to know that, there's all sorts of people. They talk about win rates and all that other garbage. I'm playing these tanks to level them up. And that means that they might be stock. They're going to be crappy tanks I don't want to play. When I played this game with my favorite tanks like the Progetto and other overpowered tanks, I had amazing games. I was getting general all the time, doing lots of damage. When you play with weaker tanks or more difficult tanks, you're not going to have those amazing games. However, you do learn how to play better when you play a weaker tank. Like, for example, I play low pen guns, which means I learned how to flank. I learned how to hit enemy tanks on the side armor, how to get them on the rear. I do it a lot more often than you think. If you watch my videos, you know that I'm flanking tanks all the time. I even have a series you can look through where I identify a lot of videos as flanking videos. And the reason why I did that, I'll explain, is because I was in a Tiger tank, and there were like there was like 14 tier 9 tanks, and I was the only tier 8 tank. And so what am I going to do? I can't penetrate these guys. And that's when I said, you know what, I'm going to try and get around the side. And that's when I started flanking. All the people are going to laugh. Oh, you just died. You were at the cap, and everybody shot at you, and you died. And it's like, who cares? You're going to respawn in 20 seconds. Who cares if you die? Resetting the cap is more important. If you play the strategy to emphasize resetting the cap, you will get general a lot faster. You get a lot more prestige. You'll get more EXP. Resetting the cap is going to help you win the game. It's going to help your team. We've got a tough issue here. You can see we're outnumbered. The right team is the enemy. Got a lot of enemy tanks. They're coming around to try and win this cap. I don't know if they're going to succeed or not. It looks like we're going to have to withdraw. Let's see. I have the feeling that we're going to withdraw, so let's move on to the next video. This tank is the Waffenträger off Panzer IV. This is a German Tier 9 tank destroyer. The map is Overlord. This is not the sniping position that I'm going to show you. It's going to be actually a different position. But this is another position that you can play, which everybody knows about. Okay, let's advance. Okay, so here's a good position where you can spam golden heat at your enemy tanks because you're an unicum. But that's not the position I want to show you. The position I want to show you is down over here. And because you're an unicum, you already know this position. So those of you who are unicum can just skip this video. But basically, this is the position right here. You notice that from this position, I can hit that Type 4 heavy with my tomato rounds, and I can hit the T-32 and his buddies, the T-10, as they come around this corner. So you've got two different flanks that you can cover, and you've got that T-44. I don't know if it's possible to hit him. He's in a hull down position over there, and if I want to advance and hit that low, I know that you can go a short distance over there and hit that tank. So watch me get amazing damage in this amazing position. You're going to see that zero climb. You'll see lots of zeros later at the end of the game. So I'm firing tomato rounds at the Type 4 Heavy. Unfortunately, my allies are blocking. Let's see if I can get a shot on this T-10. a high explosive round or a heat round, which because you're super unicum, you would be firing. But tomatoes like me, we have the non-penetrating type of rounds. Okay, so it's very easy to hit that T10, but he really doesn't want to come out. The Carnarvon, one of the issues I have here is I really wasn't sure if that T10 was aiming at me, and he was. But it's okay, because in the end, I'm going to get lots of zeros. So you can see that from here, it's possible to fire your APCR and heat rounds at that low. And of course, you could also spam gold at the Type 4 Heavy if you want to. So the low hit me for 323, and the SPG hit me for 36. Okay, so I'm now leaving the position with my battle medals, my epic hero medal. I didn't get an epic kill in this game, but I wanted to show you that position. I thought it was very interesting. It's the first time that I played there. This is the E50. This is a German Tier 9 medium tank, and the map is Live Oaks. Look at what that M41 Bulldog is doing. Watch the minimap. Keep your eye on the minimap. He's going to spot the whole enemy team right now. And there it is. Just as he died, he spotted all those tanks. But the issue is that we realize that the enemy is not heading towards town. And not only that, most of them will never make it to the town. I decided, well, I'm going to take a very aggressive position. I'm going to go to where this row of houses is over here, and I'm going to snipe from these houses. And you can see my allies, the Carnarvon and the Defender, they're playing the normal way that they always play. They're not going to be able to really hit anybody from back. Maybe they'll get some shots in. But, you know, I like to play for fun. I don't play because I'm unicum and I fire heat rounds. I like to play a challenging game, and I thought, oh, this is going to be cool. I'm going to try something new here. So unfortunately, I blocked on that Badger, but he's never going to make it to town. That's probably going to be his final resting spot. You can see now the Defender and the Carnarvon might have shots on him through the town. I'm not sure if they do or not. The Panther decided that he was going to come to my position. There's a Waffenträger. The Waffenträger, I'm not sure if I'm going to be the one that's going to kill him, but I'm definitely going to do a lot of damage to him. And my team, my allies in the southeast are going to win. So they're going to clean up over there. And in my flank, we're going to win, but they're going to straggle a little bit. It's going to be a slow win. Because we've only got a couple tanks here. We've only got 4 tanks, while we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the south. So you can see that a T-30 somehow got through, and I didn't notice it. Maybe that's just not a good position. You know, you learn through trial and error, and unfortunately that's not something I'm going to remember. But notice that there's also a T-10 in the middle of the map. He's very vulnerable. There are places to hide in the middle of the map. However, I decided to take a chance at spotting him. Put him out of his misery. So I got 375 damage and I blocked 1200. Scores 4-2. I think I'm going to miss. And he's going to disappear probably. But, you know, he doesn't have a long life ahead of him. So you can see the enemy, that a lot of the game has passed, and the enemy still chose not to go to town. I think what they're doing is not the wise idea. They're going to be very vulnerable, whatever position they're taking. He doesn't realize what's about to happen. That's 391 damage on the Waffenträger. T10 came out to play. And he's out of the game. The Mauerbrecher is out of the game. The score is 11-3, by the way, so now's the time to go in and get your final damage. Okay, this is beyond sniping. Let's move on. This tank is the Object 263. This is a Russian Tier 9 tank destroyer, and the map is Redshire. I am going to show you a sniping position that you can play in this game. I'm going to do around 2,000 damage from this position. The bigger issue is that the enemy is going to retreat, which is going to reduce the total amount of damage I'm going to be able to do from this position. The reason why they're going to retreat is because they're going to kill all of my allies, and I don't think they're going to spot me, so they don't know I'm here. So they just left. So I'm using the high explosive rounds, and the reason why is I'm expecting to have to hit their side armor. They're going to be side scraping. So I'm going to use the high explosive rounds. Scores 1-0, and this is in counter mode. You can do a lot of damage with high explosive rounds, but you do have to fire more often in general, unless you get lucky shots on the rear or against really weak tanks. Slow. Okay, I had to hold my fire because I didn't want to hit my ally. I play with a high ping time, and I easily could have hit him. Sometimes there's a delay where I press the button to fire, and then it fires a second later. I mean, it really does happen. Okay, we got something here. So I did 107 damage. I hit him near that lower plate. Because it was a high explosive round, it did not ricochet. I've done testing in the training room. You can actually damage tanks without hitting them by hitting near them. But the problem is, okay, so that one I did 103 with a high explosive round. But if you want to do the proximity damage, the splash damage, you got to be really close. You got to be within like 1 meter. It's not like an arty. So I got 86 damage on the Tiger 2, plus I'm tracking him. And you'll notice he's not repairing fast enough. He took a wild shot. I got 126 on him. I think I'm gonna miss a shot. Because I remember seeing the T-30 show up, and I thought, oh yeah, I want to shoot at that T-30. So that's 180. No, I think that was only 93 damage on the Tiger 2, but he was able to get away that time. Missed a shot. Missed a shot. I'm up to 515 damage. Obviously, if you're super unicum and you fire heat rounds, you could have done 3,000 damage by now. But I'm not super unicum. I fire cheap rounds. Okay, so there's a side armor shot. You can see that they killed all my allies. I hit for 182 on the Carnarvon. But like I said, these guys, for some reason, they all left. I mean, it looks like, I don't know, maybe they're going to die. The T-10 just died. I hit for 167 on the Carnarvon. I'm up to 864. And I am going to get 2,300 damage in this game. That was 362 on the Carnarvon. There's an example how people say you can't do a lot of damage with heat rounds, but I did, I'm sorry, with HE rounds. You know what? That might have been an AP round. I'm not sure. I might have switched to AP rounds and didn't notice. Okay, so they left. I did 1,200 damage here. I'm going to leave the sniping position. Let's move on to the next. I have a website, which is standupcomedy.org. Every day there's great videos from great comedians. There's like 40 or 50 videos every day. For today, I'm going to show you today's videos. June 7th. This is Seth Green from Austin Powers. We got Jimmy Fallon doing an interview. It's not on his show. John Heffron, funny comedian. He did Last Comic Standing. Jimmy Kimmel with Ellen DeGeneres. Dana Carvey on Conan. Jeff Ross. Tim Allen. Someone you don't care about. Tom Hanks. Kevin Hart. Alec Baldwin. And these are all clips where they appeared. Oh, come on, load the page. They all appeared on TV or on some show today. So we got another one with Dana Carvey and with Kevin Hart. We've got another Kevin Hart. We've got Will Sasso. This guy is hilarious. We got James Corden, Jerry Seinfeld. He's talking about Seinfeld reboot. Fred Armisen, David Spade about his new talk show. James Corden. This is some guy I don't know. Sean Locke. Dave Attell. Okay, so these are the previous day. This is where we get into the previous day. Is this guy over here, Rob Hayes? I must have liked his comedy, otherwise I would not have added it. So there's got to be like 50 just from today. Patton Oswalt. This is some movie that was a lot of big actors like Dana Carvey, James Corden, Cher, of course, who's a great comedian. She's on Howard Stern. Alec Baldwin, Louis Anderson, Lee Mack is really funny. I know you don't know who he is. Kumail Nanjiani, Seth Green again. Liam Gallagher, this is not a comedian. Dana Carvey with Conan. Dana Carvey, Lisa Lampanelli. She's not that funny. Lisa Lampanelli. She's got a new talk show coming up. Conan O'Brien. This is not obviously going to be a great clip, but every day great clips. I also have electionnews.org, which is where the real comedy is. All the candidates are here. Oh, you know what? I should go back and show you. These are like all the big comedians: Aziz Ansari, Bill Burr, Brian Regan, Dane Cook, Jeff Ross, Jim Gaffigan. So if I click on somebody like who has a lot, I know that Mark Normand has a lot. Mark Normand is one of the big up and coming comedians. He's very funny. And I got a lot of videos with him, and it's all recent stuff. You can see today is June 7th, so he had 2 videos yesterday, 2 videos on the 2nd, on the 29th, on the 25th. So like once a week, he's getting a video coming up. Let's check. Kevin Hart has videos all the time. If you like him, there's like 5 videos a day of him. Let's check Dane Cook. Slow. While we're checking Dane Cook. Okay, so I've got a lot of SNL people. These are the SNL people. These are actors like Mark Wahlberg, Owen Wilson, Steve Carell. We've got all the TV shows like Jim Jeffries, Howard Stern, Conan O'Brien, John Oliver, Seth Meyers. So Dane Cook, he was on Comedy Central June 4th, June 3rd, June 2nd, he was on Kimmel Live. June 2nd, he was on some podcast. May 24th, this is with Tom Green on the Larry King Show. On the 22nd, he was with Bert Shyster, whatever his name is. I don't know his name, but it's a great site. So let's go to the election site. We've got all the Democrats. There's a little bit of Trump news, and the reason why there's not a lot is because if I included Trump, there would just be so much news about him that it would just distract people. So I've got all the candidates. We've got facts like about the Electoral College, and when I say facts, it's stuff like how does it work. It's factual stuff, the history, biography. We've got opinion for different issues like taxes, gun control, etc., and some other boring stuff that you really don't care about. And it's updated every day. So again, look, Bernie Sanders, today is June 7th. We've got a prediction. We've got him speaking on some TV network. Yesterday, he was Time Magazine did a piece on him. There was also something that looks like CNN and Fox did something on him. This is June 6th. This is just yesterday. MSNBC yesterday. MSNBC, Elizabeth Warren is talking about him. This is a podcast, which was also yesterday. This is Fox News yesterday. This was the day before yesterday, 2 days ago. 2 days ago, 2 days ago. This is some TikTok is Bloomberg, perhaps. MSNBC 2 days ago. Fox Business 2 days ago. 3 days ago, he was on another network you don't care about, CBSN. So all the coverage that he gets on all the major networks, you can go watch all those stories. You can watch all these boring people like Jill Stein, who's never in the news. She goes weeks without being in the news. Andrew Yang is in the news quite often. So you can see we've got him on June 6th, on June 3rd, on June 4th, on May 29th, on the 25th, on the 24th. So he's in every couple of days. He's in the news. So we'll look at the opinion pieces. It's things like, why are young Americans? They go and they ask questions. This is a JLE show, so there is going to be some comedy. We've got some guy just talking about some stuff you don't care about. Elon Musk stating his opinion on something. This is a TED Talk. This is from the Atlantic magazine. It's an opinion piece. Why? Fox, comparison between Canada and the U.S. So this is a debate on a network like Good Morning Britain. There's international news about U.S. elections. So there's a lot of good information here, and I'm going to be making more sites over time. Check the sites out. It's standup-comedy.org and election-news.org. And of course, this will carry on beyond the 2020 election.